and welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to play with some soft pastel. I know quite a few of you have been requesting background videos in different mediums, so I do listen to you guys. I am working on it. Bear with me, guys. So I've got some pan pastel here. I know not everyone has these, so you can use whatever you want. In whatever colours you want. This is just to get an idea of how I do things. I also have the big box of Artecho 72 soft pastel that I got a little bit ago. I have done an unbox and a swatch and first impression of these. I'll pop that video down below for you guys in case you're interested in seeing that as well. I believe I have an unboxing on some of my pan pastel. If I can find it, I'll pop that below as well. Can't remember. I think I did. So I only have certain ones of the pan pastel, a couple of sets. So I will be using my black from my Artecho most certainly, and I don't have any purple in my pan pastel, and I do kind of like the idea of adding a purple to this, so I'm going to use a purple from my Artecho as well, I think. I do have the soft tools, eyeshadow, little eyeshadow brushes work very well, soft foam sponges. I've even got that I really am curious, you know, the little the soft foam sponge finger daubers that you can get. You know, they're pretty similar to a firmer version of the soft foam, and I just really want to see how they'd work when I'm you know, doing backgrounds. A lot of the time I'm playing with things for the first time, or maybe the second or third. I haven't done an awful lot of this kind of thing in my artworks, so you know, I'm sometimes as new to this stuff as you are, so this is a bit of a practice and a play. So we'll get started. I think I'm going to work in from my light colours out and then back in again. So what I do want to do, because I've got this light source here, I'm going to take some of my white pan pastel and I'm going to pop that around where my light is shining to start with. I'm not sure how the pan pastel will react to my daubers, so what I'm actually doing first is I'm going to spot it on, and then I'm going to rub it in, and we'll see where we go from there. It's a white, so I can't tell yet. We'll just have to in the process and see what happens. The reason I'm putting this white down first is really close to the centre of that, and I'm going to use one of the little eyeshadow brush kind of applicators that you get with these packs. You know what's funny? I don't think I've ever bought a separate pack of these, and yet I have. I've got these and these and this set here and these and these and this and a big one somewhere. So you must get quite a few with the original sets that you do get. I think I've had about 4 different sets, so I suppose it makes sense. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. The reason I've put that white down, I also don't think I have a yellow, so I'm going to use one of my Artecho yellows, and I'm just going to see if I can just pick it up by rubbing it onto my foam applicator, and I just want a little bit of yellow in against that light itself. Try not to smudge my pencil colours underneath there. Pop a couple of layers there, just along the inside to give that idea of a radiating light. And because I'm using blues around the light, obviously if I mix yellow and blue I'll get green. So what I want or the idea in my head of what I want, is a little buffer to act between the yellow and the blue. So what I've now got around the edge of that is a white, which will hopefully turn out fine. You may not even be able to really see what I've just put down there because it's so pale, but hopefully as we come in it will make sense. So I'm then going to take a really pale blue. I have the phthalo blue tint in the pan pastel, which is 560.8. And I do believe I've got one of these with a bit of pale blue on. I have, so I'm just going to take that. Now, quick disclaimer, this is Amazon paper. I do my best, but you know, there's only so much of a miracle that you can work. So as I said, I'm trying not to mix the yellow and the blue, and I'm just bringing that out and around from everywhere. And then I'm just going to take some tissue, and I'm just, no pressure, going to very lightly buff that off my colouring as well as I'm able. In an ideal world, you'd use something small and try and go around everything without getting it on your pencil, but well, don't have that kind of time, so I just do it that way, and I accept the fact that, you know, there's a little bit of a light blue tone to everything. So from there, what colour would we like? I'm going to next go in with this kind of teal turquoise colour. So this is actually turquoise, well done me, 580.5, and I do have a sponge with this colour on, so I'm just going to load this sponge back on. You have to be incredibly careful with these when you pour them on, or they do tear, as evidenced by this little accidental mishap. Oh, and don't do that, don't put them on upside down, use your noggin. Bear with me, redo that. It's late here. Don't expect me to make much sense. Right, you can always tap off a bit of excess onto your extra paper. I have got paper behind here because life is messy. Just going to start building up that darker colour around and bring it in. I've also just popped some tape down my spine here, just because I just like a nice straight line. It bothers my brain if it's all over my next page, but you know, they're single-sided, so it wouldn't really matter. Depends how you feel about it. So with my darker colours, I am planning to try and stay away from my picture as best as I'm able. I'm sorry if this is boring for you guys. I try to stay away from background videos because they do take me a little while and they are boring. I'm going to pop down a bit of this turquoise shade now. Again, just building that in from the outside. I want more of a nighttime, evening kind of vibe. It's soft pastel, so I might have to accept an evening vibe. We'll see how dark I can get it. Realised I didn't tell you guys the book, did I? I don't think it really matters, and it does say it here, but I'm finishing off my page in Joshua Dunbar's Christmas Cuties, and yes, I'm well aware that we're at the end of January, and that I finally decided to colour a Christmas page way past. From there, I'm going to do this Payne's Grey, so a deep blue around the edge. Just giving it kind of a smoky halo kind of a vibe. As best I can. And then I'm just going to take off as much of that blue as I can. And I do want a little bit of purple. I'm using the purple from my Artecho, and it is, let me find the 070 in the Artecho. Love that these are numbered. Oh, so soft. Yikes. I'm just going to use my soft tool, to be honest. Just going to rub it on there and add some purple to this. I've been very pleasantly surprised by the Artecho set of soft pastel, especially for the price point and the amount of pastels that you get. So far they've been, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm a beginner, so not an expert, but so far they've been easy to use and some really lovely colours to them. Okay, so that's my outside edge, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit of that turquoise. Just to put some blue back into that colour. And then Going to come back in with my really pale shade, that Valo Blue tint. Like anything in colouring, to be honest, is what I find the more that I colour and play with different mediums. You've got to be a little bit patient and you've got to build it up. Okay, so I think I would like to pop a bit more white here. Try and separate that back out again. Just add that misty halo effect back in. I'm just going to try and tap some of the blue back off. I do quite like the effect of those sponge daubers. Shall we whisk it? Shall we whisk it? Probably going to regret this. Really deep blue there. I know, let's be sensible. Play on a separate piece of paper. Oh, sensible, for once in my life. There we go. I didn't chuck it straight on my page. Let's compare that to... I mean, your soft tool's a lot smoother. A lot smoother. Okay, going back in with my deepest blue. Just to build those outside edges up a little bit again, a little bit darker. Try and keep off that white as best I can. And I just want, as best as I can manage it, that illusion of a little pocket of light. Right, so going to buff that a little bit with my tissue rather than add a lighter colour over again. You could really deepen this out, add some layers, build things up. You know, you can add a lot of different things to your page with time and patience, depending on what it is that you're going for. But to be honest, that is enough for me. You could add some black, which I'm considering. A little bit of black from my Artecho, just right on the corners, I think. Just to increase my halo effect. if you're sensible, you will fix a page like this. There's a lot of layers of pan pastel here. It's gonna be messy. It's gonna, you know, leak off your page. If you had another picture here, it would make a mess. For me, it's an Amazon book. It's single-sided. It's fine. And one very simple page. Now, we've to try not to... I did kind of tack this tape off on my jeans to reduce all the stickiness from it as much as I can. And your best bet is to double it back on itself and peel it against itself. Even having reduced all that tack, I've still had tape rip on me every now and again. And let's remove our mess. And there we have our Christmas scene in pan pastel. I hope this was vaguely interesting, guys. A little bit of something different from me. Got my page finished, so well done. I've done about one page this month, so at least I have something to show. And yeah, guys, have you played with your pastels? Do you have the Artecho, the pan pastel? Do you have the Mungyo? I do have those. I use those and I do enjoy the Mungyo. Or a different brand that you prefer, that you play with and love. And apart from that, guys, happy colouring. Have an amazing week. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.